Across Europe, governments are shortening the work week. Belgium, France, and even Britain are testing 4-day schedules to improve productivity and happiness. But in Greece, lawmakers just voted to let people work up to 13 hours a day. Yes, 13 hours. In a country where workers already log some of the longest hours in Europe. So why is Greece going in the opposite direction? And what does it tell us about Europe's economic and demographic future? While most of Europe is redefining work around balance and sustainability, Greece is pushing for endurance. The government says the new law will modernise labour rules, give flexibility to employers, and help struggling industries like tourism and logistics. But unions and economists see something else, a government trying to squeeze more labour out of a shrinking workforce. To understand this, we have to look back. After Greece joined the euro in 2001, years of heavy borrowing caught up with it. Then came 2008, the global financial crisis, and Greece's collapse. Bailouts from the EU and IMF saved the country but came with brutal austerity. Jobs vanished. Wages fell. A generation left the country. Even today, nearly half of Greek households can't afford basic necessities. And yet, Greeks still work some of the longest hours in the developed world, with some of the lowest pay. Yes, the economy has grown faster than the Eurozone average since 2021. But that growth comes from tourism, hospitality, and food services. The kind of work that relies on long hours and low wages. Productivity has actually fallen. Real wages have dropped up to 35% since 2009. So when the government claims this new law will boost competitiveness, it sounds less like innovation and more like desperation. Here's the deeper truth. Greece is running out of workers. Its fertility rate is just 1.3. Over 1 million working-age Greeks have emigrated since the crisis. By 2070, the population could shrink by a quarter. The 13-hour law isn't really about flexibility. It's about trying to replace people with hours. But you can't fix a demographic crisis with exhaustion. What's happening in Greece reflects a bigger European divide. Northern Europe believes productivity comes from smarter systems, better technology, and rested workers. Southern Europe, still shaped by years of debt and austerity, keeps falling back on the old idea: work harder, even if it hurts. But that logic is self-defeating. Longer hours lead to burnout, lower birth rates, and even more emigration, the very problems governments are trying to solve. If working harder made countries rich, Greece would already be rich. Instead, it's proof that productivity and exhaustion are not the same thing. Europe's challenge now isn't to make people work more, it's to make every hour count more. That means investing in innovation, education, and a new vision of prosperity that doesn't depend on fatigue. Because what's happening in Greece may not stay in Greece. It could be the first sign of how an aging continent tries, and fails, to outrun time. If you enjoyed this analysis, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and visit westernrelations.com for deeper stories about Europe's politics, economy, and global future. Thank you for watching.